All right, Bruce, back at you. Let's get into Roundhill. They just announced this morning their distribution for XDTE, the S&P 500, um, as well as QDTE on the NASDAQ 100. So I think we may be looking at early September. I remember I saw a strong rumor date. Um, and also one for the yield boost at Granite shares. Their 25 something yield boost ones are coming. So I'll review that, but if somebody knows the strong rumor, I have it in my other file and I didn't want to stop. I wanted to get this out to you guys, but I know the strong rumor has always been September. I just thought there was a little more clarity on how soon, if it's the very end of August or the first week of September. And I'll go back as well. But if somebody knows what the rumor is and watching this, just put it in the comments. All right, so here it is, peoples. 8:21, obviously that's where we're at. We're early in the morning and it just came out. So what does that mean? That means through today's trading, 8:21, you can still buy this and get the declaration. When do you get paid? Well, you would get paid on Friday the 23rd. So you must buy on Wednesday 21. Don't buy on 8/22 or you won't get the dividend and they'll pay you on 8/23. So what's the amount? Well, it went up. Went up 93 cents or hang on, I think that's the difference. Yeah, that's the difference in the XDE price. This is the difference in the yield, right? So we're talking almost 10 cents, guys, like 9.5 cents. Okay. I show over here just what's the current price. Because remember, when you calculate return, I'm big, and I'll show you my other sheet with total return. I'm big on calculating total return. What is total return? Total return is how much dividends have I been paid? What price did I buy it at? So in my case, in the sheet I'm showing, I show the inception price. What was the price at inception? Yours would differ, but it's one way to track it. And then if you bought it when it at inception, right? How does that compare to where it's at? Well, it's down a little bit. So that's part of your total return. What's the other component? The other component is all the payments, right? So in the case of XDTE, you would come down here and you say, well, it's only 16 cents down from what it launched at back on March 7th. And their first payment wasn't until March 25, but the fund launched on March 7th. So you'd be 16 cents, almost negligible, right? Like 0.5% or some amount, very, very small percentage that you would have NAV erosion, tiny, tiny. And then I calculate on the other sheet how much is $5.39, which is all the distributions versus what you paid for it, which would be 16 cents less. Sorry, 16 cents more is what it launched at. Anyway, I'll go to that sheet and show you. So I wanted to get this out to you. Almost 47.5 cents. Now looking back, that looks like a record payout or a big payout, right? I got 47 cents here. I got 38, 41, 35. Yeah, that's a big payout on the S&P 500. Obviously, the markets have been moving up this week. So let's take a look at, now, did I get the right payments for the right area? Hang on, let me do this. XDTE 38.8. Let me verify. In the hurry to get this out, let's not make a mistake. Yeah, I did. Okay, guys, apologize. My apologies for that. So this one is correctly 38. This one is, oh no, that's right. XDTE is 47. No, XDT is 38. I got 38 in both. So the 47 only goes to the NASDAQ, only goes to the QDTE. All right, well, so let me copy that guy. Yep, I transposed him. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. So it's slightly down. Look at that. 47.6 to 47.5, but there were some bigger ones, 51 and 56, but still nice. So this guy is almost at this level, right? If I change it just a hair, it's 38, 8473. So sorry on that one. Okay. So 38% annualized. I don't think that changed. No, it didn't change to 16 cents. Okay. And what that is just the change. What's the total change? Well, you're down 16 cents because every week I track how it's doing relative, right? So, like this, it's 51.45 on XDTE last week. This week it's 52.38, so it's up 93. So I track all of these and color code them, and then that tells me. So our NASDAQ 100 is down more, okay, but it's obviously paid more. So let's go into this one. So again, just a hair below. It looks like both of them are just a hair below. Oh, this one is higher, 38.8 versus 38.7. Okay. So here's your yield. Now, why would the yield change? Okay, for those of you math people. Well, the yield is a function of taking this payment and projecting it out for 52 weeks, right? That's how many weeks in a year, and saying this is the underlying price. Well, when the price goes up, if you get the same number, your yield's going to shrink, right? If I give you $5 on a $10 loan, that's 50% interest or 50% yield. But if it's a $20 loan, it's only 25%, right? So based on your number over here can make this, like, look at this, when the price is lower, but guess what you have over here? You have more NAV erosion, right? You're lower maybe than you bought. Again, depends on your particular buying price. But things that cause the yield to go up, so that's how that works. So we talked about this one. Important on both these guys. Don't forget this. You must buy on 8/21 today, on Wednesday, 8/21. Okay. Tomorrow it trades XDiv or X date, and then you're paid on Friday. So you don't want to buy on Thursday. You want to buy on Wednesday if you want to get paid. If you already own it and you tuned in, great. All right. Here's the data that I wanted to go over a little bit. Okay. And I apologize again for. So here we are with total dividends, right? So again, this doesn't matter what your investment is. Somebody, by the way, I remember somebody asking me to show a drip and do the calculations, and I literally just forgot, guys. So I just had this email pop in early and said, oh yeah, I'm going to do this video and get it out to people who don't get an email, don't get notified, and want to know. Okay. So this is helpful to people. That's why I'm rushing to get it out. And I copied the wrong one in the wrong place. So all this is the data, right? I've already summarized it for you. 38.8, 388,473 for XDTE, 475843 for QDTE. Okay. So this is a summary. This is what now, and I haven't dripped it. Somebody asked me, it's a little more calculations. I can do it. It's not a problem. I just did, I forgot. So I really need to do this before the next week comes up so I have it out for you. So in here, I annualize the dividend and the loss, right? How do I do that? I figure out how many days since March 7th you would have owned it if you bought it at inception. Your number is going to vary, right? And I divide that amount of days by 365, and that tells me my multiplier. Okay. So anyway, what I've done is I said, okay, here's inception, 52.46 and 46.44. If you bought it on the opening day, what did it close at? And that's the number I used. The amount of money really doesn't matter. Okay. What's the current price? Well, look at this. It's only down 8 cents. That's why you saw that 0.16. Okay. So 8 cents is the difference. So what have I lost? And that said 0.16. So this is like 0.159 something, right? So anyway, that's your loss theoretically if you bought it at inception. If you bought it at $49 a few weeks ago, then your price is different, right? You're ahead of the game. So I take that in dollars and say on $1,000, you only have 990, whatever. And then look at this. You're down a little more. You're down 7.11% on this guy because you paid 46.44. Oops, why is that? Oh, I see what they're taking. That's how many F7 times H7. Why is that 7%? Yeah, that would be right. Okay. So that's $3.30. Yeah, that makes sense. Divided by 46.44. Yeah. Okay, 7.11%. Just all of a sudden something look weird. I'm just making sure. All right. So on $1,000, what is that, right? 7106. But the point being, what's my return? So I have a return of getting $5.30 on a $52.46 investment. Okay, it's 10.11 on my return. And what do I have for here? I have a 46.44 price and I've gotten $6.95. Obviously QDTE pays more and you pay less for it. So, but remember guys, that doesn't always mean that holds. That's just the history of 5+ months of trading, right? Not much more than 5 months. So you've got a 14.98% return. And then you come over here and say, well, how about annualizing that? This is what you've actually received with 167 days. So when you annualize that, so you have another factor involved in that. And that's where you get 32% and 14. But that's on the dividend annualized. What about this fact that I'm losing dollar value? This one's losing very little. Look at its annualized loss on NAV erosion, minus 0.33. So they were at 1467 and they maintained their NAV at 1433 annualized return. What happens over here? I got a much higher annualized return. Okay, more than double, which is what you'd expect, because 167 days, when you double it, is still less than half a year. It's not a full 6 months. So that's why you're using 2.18. And so that gives you 32.73. Nice dividend annualized return. However, a true total return says I need to take away, then I'm losing money, right? I'm losing dollars here. I went from 46.44 to 43, and I need to annualize that. Well, that's 15%. But if it stayed the same, it's not. It's only 7%. So if all of a sudden I got better and I just stayed the rest of the way, I'd only end up with a less of an annualized loss. So in the end of the day, 17% total return for QDTE and 14.33 for XDTE. So anybody again on RDTE, it's the Russell 2000. We're expecting in September, and it was a strong rumor date. I don't remember now the rumor date in September, but I do have it written down. Okay, guys, that's what I got for you. And by the way, I updated the prices as of today. Makes no sense to have 21. Okay. They are, August 13th. So the pricing in here is based on the close of August 20. So maybe that's a better number to write. Okay. All right, guys, that's what I got. Again, Bruce with Targeted Wealth Creation. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. It's for fun and entertainment. Have a great one. See you. Bye, folks.